So before I move on to the metrics for research impact, metrics for measuring research impact, let me give you some of the sources for selection of journals. So the first step in publishing on the part of an author starts with selection of a journal for submission of an article. So some of the sources I have listed on this slide: Google Scholar, Microsoft Academic, UGC Care journal list, a more recent one and a national initiative in India, Web of Science, or call it Clarivate Master Journal List, in short MJL, and the Scopus Sources List. These are the important sources for selection of journals. You can visit Google Scholar. Do not sign in. You need not sign in order to get the more impactful journals in your subject. You need not even sign in. You can click on this particular 3 lines. Now let's go to Google Scholar, scholar.google.com, an important indexed citation database. This is the home page of Google Scholar. In the home page, on the left-hand top corner, you have 3 horizontal lines. If you click there, you'll get some options. One of the options is metrics. So if you go to metrics, you find the list of most impactful journals according to Google Scholar. As you may notice on screen, the most impactful, most highly cited, I can say, journal is Nature, followed by the New England Journal of Medicine. Now, how do I get, the question is, how do I get the most impactful journals in my subject? For that, you have to click on categories. This will pop up the list of broader disciplines and choose your discipline, broader discipline. If you're not sure which discipline your subject belongs to, you can do trial and error. I'll go for social sciences here. So if you click on the broader category, you'll get subcategories in that particular category. So click on subcategories, find your subject and click on your subject. For instance, I'll click on sociology. If I click on sociology, it gives the top 20 journals, most impactful journals based on the number of citations in the subject sociology. So this helps you, but one of the limitations of Google Scholar is that it lists only 20 journals in each subject based on H5 index and H5 median. If you want to know what H5 index, what H5 median is, you can simply click on H5 index. You'll get the meaning of it. H5 index is an index which indicates the number of articles having H or more citations in the last 5 years. Now, what is this H? H, for instance, if you take the first one, American Sociological Review, H5 index of this journal is 59. This 59 indicates that in the last 5 complete years, for instance, 2014 to 2018, Google Scholar says, in the last 5 complete years, 59 articles published in this journal have at least 59 citations or even more. So this is an indicator. This is a journal level impact indicator devised exclusively by Google Scholar. So journal level impact, I mentioned journal level impact. Another more widely accepted impact for journals is impact factor. I will be discussing about it a little later. Because we are seeing this page, I can simply cover this. H5 index is exclusively for Google Scholar only. No other service provides H5 index. Also, H5 median. H5 median is the middle number in the number of citations arranged in the descending order. So 89 is the median of all the articles, the citations for all the articles published in the period 2014 to 2018. We are talking about H5 index of Google Scholar. Let me just bring back the screen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Let's continue. H5 index. Somebody asked to repeat H5 index. H5 index is the number of articles which have got H number of citations. That means the number of articles, the ranked number, I should say, the ranked number of articles, the articles ranked in the descending order of the number of citations received, and the number of citations should coincide. Once I explain H index, H5 index also will be clearer. Let me now proceed. Now, this is the first source which you can use to select more impactful journals for considering submitting an article for into a journal. So let's move on to the second source. The second source is Microsoft Academic, which can be accessed at academic.microsoft.com. This is the home page. I'll show you the home page of Microsoft Academic. This is a competitor to Google Scholar. This is also an openly accessible citation database of scholarly literature, just like a Google Scholar. So if you come to the home page, you see that Microsoft Academic allows you to search for articles, for authors, for journals, or even combination of these. And it also lists top authors, top institutions. If you scroll down, you'll also see top journals and top conferences in specific topics. So let me just go to another link, which I will be directly accessing, academic.microsoft.com/journals. So that I'll take you to the journals page, since we are discussing about the sources for selection of journals. This is the page where Microsoft Academic gives the analytics for the journals indexed by it. Every subject is called a topic in Microsoft Academic. Let's say I want top journals in economics. I'll click on economics here, topic, and I will get here the top journals in economics. You can, that is the time or the period to be covered. That is all, you can set it to past 10 years, past 5 years. And then you can also sort the journals on the basis of saliency, prestige, number of citations. Since we are discussing citations, let me just click on citations. And you can see there's a slight change in the order of journals. So the second source for selection of journals selection of journals is Microsoft Academic. The third is our own UGC Care, which has been set up in the year 2019, the last year. UGC Care is maintained by Savitribai Phule Pune University. This is an initiative of UGC, as you may be knowing. To access the journals which are listed under UGC Care, one needs to create an account, a free account on UGC Care and log in. Only upon login will you be able to search for a journal based on its title, search for journals based on its ISSN, based on publisher, subject, and the language of publication. As I have already logged in, I am getting the search options here. Under UGC Care, journals are classified into two groups. One is UGC Care List Group 1. Two, UGC Care List Group 2. Group 2 includes those journals which are already indexed, which are already listed in globally recognized databases, mainly two databases. One, Web of Science or Clarivate Master Journal List, which I will be showing. Two, Scopus Sources List. So these two can be separately accessed. The list of journals indexed in Web of Science as well as Scopus can be separately accessed, or even if you log into UGC Care, you will get the list under Group 2. As you may notice here on the right hand side under Important Notices, there is UGC Care List Group 2. Okay, so on clicking this, you will get the contents of Group 2, Web of Science, Scopus. So even MLA directory has been, the directory of journals from MLA, Modern Language Association, has also been recently added to UGC Care. So this is about Group 2. Group 1 consists of those journals which are not indexed in any of these globally recognized databases mentioned earlier, but have been recommended by various institutions and universities for inclusion in UGC Care. And UGC Care does not arbitrarily include any journal just because a university or institution recommends it. It has its criteria, certain set parameters. One of the important parameters, an appreciable parameter set by UGC Care, is that the journal should not charge any fee for publication. Only such journals are accepted, and a journal must be online. It should have an independent website for providing the articles in various volumes and issues. That is another criteria or parameter set by UGC Care for including a journal in its Group 1 list. So if you want to access UGC Care list, you can simply select, if you do know the exact title of a journal, you can click on title and enter the value. Or if you want to access the journals in a particular subject, you can enter the name of the name of the subject, but the name of the subject must match the name that is defined in UGC Care list. So my subject, I'll just take my subject. So it will give the list of journals which are not indexed by other globally recognized databases, but are included in UGC Care. So on this occasion, I also would like to bring this to the notice of all researchers and teachers that UGC has issued a directive to the vice chancellors of all the universities that after the inception of UGC Care list, the publications should be made only in UGC Care listed journals, and only those journals those publications made in UGC Care listed journals should be considered for career advancement, meaning promotion, and even for PhD research scholars to become eligible to submit the thesis. Therefore, this point should be noted by all research scholars, all teachers as well. So this is the third source. The fourth source is the master journal list by Clarivate Analytics, which is a company which has acquired Web of Science database. So the URL is mjl, that is masterjournalist.clarivate.com. So if you visit this site, you will get the journals. You will get the journals which are indexed by Web of Science. That means these are the journals which are listed, which are recognized by Web of Science database, recognized by Clarivate Analytics. These journals have their own reputation. Therefore, prefer Web of Science indexed journals, Scopus indexed journals. Consider these journals for submitting your articles than going for a journal which is not indexed in these services. Even UGC Care Group 1 will do. So this is an important point to be noted while deciding which, or even newspaper. So a journal is uniquely identified by its ISSN. The titles of any two journals may overlap, may duplicate, but their ISSNs will be unique, they will be different. It's just like a student getting a unique register number once he or she enrolls in a particular course in a university. So journals are uniquely identified by their ISSN. Let's move on to the fifth source. The fifth source is by Scopus. So Scopus has listed, as of today, Scopus has listed about 41,154 journals. This list can be directly downloaded using download Scopus source list. You can also search the Scopus indexed journals in your subject area by selecting subject area. If you know the title, specific title of a journal, you can check whether a journal is indexed by Scopus or not. There is no need to have subscription to Scopus database in order to check whether a particular journal excuse me, is indexed in Scopus or not. You can come to Scopus sources list and you can enter the title by selecting this title criteria. You can enter the title, and if it is indexed, it will show up in the results. For instance, I can go for a journal. As you may notice here, as soon as I'm typing, it is matching the results. So I can click on this matched result. It will give certain analytics for this journal, Decidog Journal of Library and Information Technology. A point to be noted here is site score. Site score is a metric developed by Scopus for measuring the impact of journals. So it is a counterpart for journal impact factor developed by Web of Science. Okay, so now we have understood, we are familiar with 5 different sources which help us get the list of journals. Not simple list of journals, but list of impactful journals for submitting articles.